Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining in on this live webinar. The purpose of today's webinar is quite deliberate. We are looking to introduce two topics today, so we're going to touch on two things. One, the president's speech last night, which is one of the reasons why we made it today rather than yesterday or earlier in the week. We wanted to see what was said and how we can plan around that. And secondly, to introduce a new way of accepting online payments. It's super exciting. I'm really thrilled to introduce it, and I know that it's going to be something that adds a lot of value and makes accepting online payments really nice and easy for you and your business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch on firstly what the speech entailed last night and what you should be expecting moving forward. Obviously, the theme of this lockdown is wait and see. So we really are going to have to wait and see what happens over the next couple of days, today, next week, of what those phases actually entails. Having a look at what the proposal is for the various alert levels, it's unclear whether salons and spas will be able to open in any kind of capacity from next week on, or when that'll actually be allowed. So I've put something together that hopefully we can kind of work together. I see Eberhard is in the chat as well, so welcome to the webinar. If you do want to post a question, leave a comment in the comment section, or just send us a message saying hi and let us know that you're watching, so we know who's here. It's always nice on a platform like this to know who's actually there, because we can't really see it that easily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you first and then go through a presentation, and then I'm going to show you the new feature and a new way of accepting online payments, which is really exciting. So let me switch to my screen capture, and here you can see that I'll go through this slowly with you guys. This is just a image of the various alert levels that we are expecting that were outlined last night in the president's proposal. We're currently at alert level 5. From next week, Friday, when the lockdown was allegedly supposed to end, we will be entering level 4, and then hopefully moving down to 3, 2, and 1 as the weeks and months progress. So again, going through the various industries, it's slightly unclear as to where our industry fits in all of this. But what I like to do in a case like this is to outline a best case scenario, a worst case scenario, and then a most probable case scenario, and then kind of work off that. And this is something that you can do for your business for any kind of unknown, or if you're looking to breach out into something new, you can always do call it a mini SWOT analysis or risk analysis. And you can do a best case scenario, worst case scenario, and most probable case scenario. And that's normally the one, it's kind of a balance between the best and worst that ends up happening anyway. So if we look at the best case scenario, salons and spas are allowed to reopen with strict hygiene practices, and this is from next week, Friday. Business peaks as a result of nobody being able to see you for the last month or 30 odd days. But then levels off, and then with 6 months, you should start to see your balance sheet starting to normalize again. You'll see that clients will continue to embrace online bookings, retail purchases, and gift vouchers, because there's still a lot of skepticism about going out, seeing people. What are the salons going to be like? What are the shops going to be like? Is it going to be super crowded? So you may find that they're still going to want to embrace those practices that they've been doing over the last month or so, because they've now realized that it's actually quite simple to do, and it's a great way to still get access to you or your business without actually having to come and see you, which is quite nice. And then obviously still in the best case scenario, we look at minimal staff implications and layoffs with possible salary cuts. This is very much a best case scenario, which is why it's not under the most probable case scenario. We'll touch on that later. So first prize, this is going to happen. I don't see it happening on Friday, but we can always be optimistic. If we look at the worst case scenario for the coming weeks, and again, this is an absolute worst case scenario where salons and spas are declared as a high risk and are not allowed to open until we are in phase 1. This is an unknown timeline. So this is a worst case scenario. We're not allowed to open next week, Friday. We're not allowed to open up possibly in the month after that. But we're going to have to wait until this thing completely clears out, like a lot of other bars, taverns, public gatherings, that sort of thing. Again, not not the most probable scenario, but definitely a worst case scenario. In this worst case scenario, clients still buy vouchers, but it does tend to drop off as the sales aren't enough to cover your expenses and retain staff. And in this worst case scenario, you find that businesses close, your balance sheet does not recover, and you need to adapt to a new business plan, possibly shut down, possibly look at a different way of operating that you haven't done before. So worst case scenario, something to be prepared for, not necessarily to start planning on, but something to have at the back of your head to know that in a worst case scenario, this is what you can expect, so that you can try to find a nice middle ground. And then in a most probable case scenario, salons and spas are allowed to reopen in stages with strict hygiene practices and limited staff and clients. Probably falling into alert stage 3, which is not the one that we're going into on Friday, but probably one that's going to follow in the weeks onward. So you're looking maybe another 2 weeks of not being able to open. And when that does happen, you are going to have to implement strict hygiene protocols, which you already do, but you may have to make them a lot more visible. You're likely going to see a spike, but you're not going to see as big a spike because you are going to be limited to how many customers you can have at any given time. So you're not going to open in full swing. You're limited to maybe 1 or 2 customers at a time, and you're going to have to reduce the number of staff that are able to be there at any given time. And that's also going to lower your revenue and expect. So you need to kind of just match your expectations to that. You need to realize that when you do open, it's going to be under these strict guidelines. You're not going to be able to earn money like you were in your busy season, December, November, maybe parts of January. You're going to need to just get used to that mindset that it's going to be different. You're going to have to look for innovative ways to offer solutions to your customers for those that aren't able to be there at all the time, because again, you're not going to be able to fulfill those bookings and orders like you were before. Your clients may continue to embrace online bookings, retail purchases, and gift vouchers. And you may find that there are some staff implications to this. With any scenario where you have a limited amount of income coming in due to staff restrictions, client restrictions, you are going to have to make sacrifices. And it's a terrible thing to do as a business owner. It's something that keeps you awake at night. It makes you wake up in cold sweats of laying people off, salary cuts to your staff. And it's unfortunately nobody's fault. It's not a result of a bad business model. It's a result of something that has taken over this country without anybody expecting it to even get you. So this is a most probable case scenario. You need to bear in mind that you're probably going to have to take a salary cut. If you haven't already, I'd be surprised. And that there may be some staff implications like there are with many companies, which is obviously a terrible implication. So this is a PDF. I'm happy to share this if you do want it. I'll maybe send it out to our customer base in a message blast later on. If you'd like to, I hate talking through slides, but I've typed it out for this very reason, so that you can save it and maybe use it as a model or a platform to adapt your mindset a little bit. So prepare for the worst, but realize that you're probably going to fall into the most probable case scenario moving forward. So that pretty much touches on the president's speech that I wanted to cover, and just how you can kind of brace yourself. But I also wanted to chat about a number of, I'm just going to switch back to my webcam here. So I wanted to chat a little bit about the salons and spas that have embraced the tools that we and others have given them to be able to generate some form of revenue over this period. You have to realize that this is an exceptionally tough time, and regardless of what you do, your revenue is not going to be what it was in December. It doesn't matter what you do. You can have the most incredible products, you can have the most incredible bookings page, you can have the most incredible website. You're not going to be able to substitute that. So there are salons and spas that are generating money right now. If I were to go to 99% of my customer base and say, how much money are you generating on a day-to-day basis, on a monthly basis, they would say absolutely nothing. We're in serious trouble. We need to look at ways in which to get some kind of relief. And this is the reality for the very vast majority of salons and spas. But there are those that have embraced things like online retail sales, online bookings, gift vouchers that are making thousands of rands a day. I do not make this number up. It may not be a substitute, but it is definitely a way that you can start making some money today. So it's a bit of a plug that you can use to sort of fill that gap. You're going to have to lower your expenses. You're going to have to evaluate a lot of things. But you should look for the tools that help you to generate that little bit of income. And I'm going to show you one of the ways today. I touched on it in the last webinar as well, where I did show you how you can make use of online retail, online gift cards during this time as an essential service provider. And since we did that, there have been a number of salons and spas that have taken that on, they've activated it, and they were trading that day. They got retail sales in that evening. The next morning they were out, they were delivering as an essential service provider and delivering those essential retail products. I see that I just got a question coming in from Megan. So yes, Megan, I will share it with you. Absolutely. So I'm going to go back to my sort of screen capture, and I'm just going to go and open the SalonBridge dashboard. So for those of you that are a SalonBridge customer, you'll be familiar with this dashboard. This is what you see when you log in. You can see your navigation, you can see your history, and you can see today's appointments. Obviously, this is a demo account because there are no appointments today. So previously, we touched on how you can use the online bookings page that SalonBridge gives you as a way to accept online bookings, to now extend that to allowing customers to buy retail products and to buy gift cards. And we've gone through this in a number of our previous webinars, and it is available on our knowledge base. But I do encourage you to go through it if you're unfamiliar. Every client that has a SalonBridge account gets a web page like this, and it is really meant as a way to get you some form of online presence if you do not have your own website. If you have your own website, you can embed this entire process into your own website. But if you want to get started today with a book now or a shop now button on your Facebook page or Instagram account, you can do that. Everybody gets their own unique link, and you can share that with your social media platforms and your customers, so they can come here, they can see your logo, they can see where you are, a little bit about you, and they can actually make bookings or they can buy products. So the product that I wanted to introduce you to today, or the new way of accepting payments today, and if you've looked at the thumbnail for this video, it's pretty obvious. It is the Yoco online payments functionality, which is really exciting. If you are a Yoco customer, so you've got a Yoco card reader in your salon or spa, it means that you are now able to accept online payments, which is it's a brand new feature that they've launched. They launched it late last week. I know that they did an integration into WooCommerce, which is a shopping cart plugin for WordPress. They are yet to, from my understanding, release this as a public integration, but I know that we are one of the first to have this integration complete. And what this means for you is that if you've got a salon that has a Yoco card reader, you can now enable online payments through Yoco automatically and accept online payments, and for the meantime, at the same price as what your card fees are. That is really, really unique because normally online payments are significantly higher, and I'm sure that pricing will adjust over time. But you're able to, from within Yoco, activate this feature, link it to your SalonBridge account, and start accepting retail and have your customers pay through Yoco. So I'm actually going to demo this whole thing for you today from start to finish. So again, if you do have questions, feel free to reach out in the comments or drop us a message on our live chat inside the actual console, and one of our support team will get back to you. So from the My Business section, if you scroll down to integrations, you'll see that from last night, there is now a new online credit card processing integration called Yoco Online Payments. And the way that you would enable this is the same for any of the other integrations. All that you would do is say enable, and it's going to ask you for a Yoco secret and public key. And this is something that Yoco gives you, and you're able to either access it from your Yoco business portal, or you can contact Yoco just by emailing them at online@yoco.co.za, and they'll be able to provide you with these keys. Once you add them over here and you say enable, SalonBridge takes care of the rest. When a payment goes through, it'll go through and it'll appear in your Yoco business portal. It'll appear in SalonBridge as a payment type, and it will show up on your Cash App report as well automatically for you. So I'm going to put in the testing details that I have over here. just my secret key and public key. These are testing details, guys, so this is obviously, I'm not going to use real account information here, but this will work for the purpose of the demo. So now I can see it's enabled. If you do want to find out more a little bit about this, you can click on this Learn More link, and it will take you straight to an article in our knowledge base about how it works, how you can enable it, and where you can get all that information. So I've enabled it now inside SalonBridge, and if I go to my online bookings menu option over here, where I can see my link and I can customize all of this, I now have the option of allowing online retail purchases and online gift card purchases. So I'm going to enable both of these. I'm going to keep online bookings enabled for now, but that really doesn't matter much. And I'm going to keep the colors as it is. And something that we've also launched today was the ability to add a shipping fee to retail. Now, I mentioned last week that the online retail functionality is brand new. It's designed to get you a retail order in. It's not designed to replace a full-on shopping cart system. It's designed to get your retail order in, have a customer pay for it, you'll get the order, and you can then arrange delivery for it. But what you're now able to do is click on this configure options link, and you can change what the button text is, and you can also apply a shipping fee if you want. So if you want to add that automatically to your order, you can do so. So I'm going to make this 50 Rand for now. I'm just going to click on save, and then that will be saved. So I'm just going to re-enable these options, click on save, and if I go to my online bookings page, which a customer would go to, I see that I now have these options to buy a voucher or a retail option. The color of these buttons, again, this is for a test, but you can configure them over here to match your own brand identity. Eberhard, you had a question, should I then disable PayFast to use Yoco? If you want to use Yoco online payments as opposed to PayFast, then you can simply enable the Yoco integration and it will automatically disable any other online payment gateway integration that you have active. You can obviously only have one active at a time because otherwise we wouldn't know where to switch it to. If you do have a Yoco card machine and you want to make use of this, send an email to online@yoco.co.za, ask them for your secret and public key, and then you can enable it and make use of the payments. It's up to you which integration you want to use. If I go back to the process now of, for example, buying a gift voucher, the customer would come here, they'd say buy gift voucher. They can choose a denomination for say 100, 200, 250, anything up to 1,000 or 10,000. And I can choose either a physical picture. So don't forget that it is Mother's Day coming up. So despite all of this, there are going to be people that are reluctant or unable to go and buy their mother a Mother's Day present. So this is a fantastic opportunity to start marketing gift vouchers for their moms so that when you guys do open, they can come for a fantastic treatment, and they can do it from the comfort of their home. They can print it themselves. When they fold it up, it looks like a really nice, beautiful gift voucher that they can give to their mom for Mother's Day. So I'm going to choose this one for, I don't know, let's say 1,000 Rand. And I'm going to say next. It's going to ask me for my information, and it pre-populated to a degree, and I'm going to say Happy Mother's Day. Love, Mark. Okay, and when I say next, it's now going to ask me to make a payment for this. So you can see the customer is aware of where it's going to be processed through, and when I say pay and buy, it's going to initiate the actual payment process through Yoco. Everything happens on this actual page. I'm going to put in test card information because, again, this is just, I'm not going to actually pay for this right now for this demo. And I'm putting in test card information, and the customer then says pay. This sends a message to Yoco's online payment gateway to process the payment. They let SalonBridge know in the background that it's been successful. When that is done, the customer is presented with a success message, and they get sent an email with that voucher automatically. So that'll get emailed and sent via SMS to the customer. This will appear automatically in their inbox. You can see here it comes through. They have been sent a voucher. They're able to click on it and actually download it. So I'm actually going to do this. Let's download it. And while that's downloading, you'll see that it also it sends them a payment receipt as well, just letting them know that their card's been processed. When I open up this voucher, it's going to present it like this with the template that I have, information on how to redeem it with the voucher code and your business logo as well in the message. It's designed like this for the purpose of being able to print out and fold. So when you fold it and fold it in again, it becomes a card that somebody can actually open up and they can see the message, but it's got the I love you mom or the image right on the front like that. If you're familiar with what an Amazon voucher looks like, it's exactly the same thing. So a really nice way to embrace online vouchers while you're in lockdown. So that's what the customer gets. They do also get sent an SMS with that unique key, and that can be used at a later stage when they come and redeem their voucher. You can just add voucher as a payment method, put in that gift card code, and the payment will be logged against that gift card. So that's how that works. It's really super straightforward. What I do want to quickly show you is how the online retail works with the courier or shipping fee now that we've added that as well. So if I say shop retail, I'm given the option of choosing a category and then choosing a specific product. I can add a number of products to my cart. I can choose from a quantity, and like I mentioned last week, this quantity is linked to your inventory level inside SalonBridge. So as you make sales inside SalonBridge, your inventory level for that retail product is reduced. So yeah, you can see I have 18 of this in stock, and if I'm on the online form, I can choose a maximum of 18 of these. I'm going to say I just want 2 hand sanitizers at 150 Rand. When I say add to cart, it adds it to my cart for me. And when I go and see my cart, I can now see that I owe 300 Rand for the hand sanitizer, and there is a shipping courier fee here of 50 Rand, which brings the total to 350. If I go on to the next step, it's going to ask me for my information. I'm going to put all this in again. And I'm just going to use that same email address that I used before. And I'm going to put in my address, Cape Town. And again, it tells me that my card is going to be processed for 350 Rand. And when I say pay and buy, it's going to bring up that Yoco payment facility where I have to put in my card details. Because these are test details, it's not asking me for 3D secure authentication, but if it's using your actual information and a actual card, it will ask the cardholder for their 3D secure details. And when I pay this, the process is somewhat similar, except when the payment is complete, you as the business owner as well as the shopper will receive an email with a shopping cart list of what has actually been purchased. So yeah, the cardholder gets notified that the order was successful. And if I open up my email again, I can see that I have been sent a retail order and it shows me what I've actually bought with the quantity. This is something that gets sent to both the shopper as well as you. You as the salon or spa will get a little bit more information. You'll get the information for the customer, their contact information, their email address, phone number, as well as their delivery address as well. The customer and you will also get sent a payment receipt so that you know that your payment has actually been made. And this will appear inside SalonBridge as well. So if I go and have a look under my gift cards for example, I'll see that there was one purchase today under Mark Ra, and this is the gift card code that was generated for 1,000 Rand. If I search for this particular account, I can find it where I should be able to see my hand sanitizer, the gift cards that I've purchased today, as well as the payments that I've made. So I did a test earlier as well where you can see I've bought the hand sanitizer, I bought 2 gift cards, and yeah, you can see the order totals as well of what I've actually paid. So really does work quite nicely. As you can see, everything basically comes through to your SalonBridge system. On your payments report, it pulls through automatically for you. Yoco Online becomes a new payment method, so you can report on that of exactly what comes in. So this is the new feature that I wanted to introduce you guys to today, or the new payment method. It is a really quick and easy way to get up and running. If you do want to go through our channel, you can go to our YouTube channel and look at last week's video where I showed you how to actually set up the retail products, how to upload the images, how to get all of that going. I encourage you to do that as well. In the meantime, if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and ask anything you want. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic day further. Again, thank you so much for the questions that came through. If you do have more questions, feel free to reach out to us on our phone number or through our live chat. If you do have Yoko specific questions, I encourage you to reach out to them directly. But if it's something that we might be able to answer, we'll certainly help with that as well. Other than that, have a fantastic day, and I hope that we can stay in touch over the next coming days. I'm sure that we'll find out a lot more information with regards to the actual lockdown restrictions and what it's going to entail for our industry. So let's see what happens. Let's try and be optimistic about a most probable case scenario, and let's try and make the most of it while we can. Get our customers used to buying online, get our customers used to buying retail, and don't forget about the public holidays that are coming up. Things like Mother's Day do not go away, and it's going to make their mums feel a lot more special. Fantastic. Have a great day, and thanks again for watching.